As you know, we've done 2 videos so far about Nick Fuentes and the escapades of what you should and should not do when it comes to seeing people online saying something you don't like. Spoiler alert for those of you who haven't seen it, I do not endorse going to people's houses just because they said something you don't like. I do not think it's a wise idea to do it, especially when you get dared to do it by not just friends, but also random women in the street. I have seen the police body cam footage going around, and I do think it's funny that a guy who has admitted that he's a white supremacist ended up pulling his Mexican card by saying that his last name is Fuentes.
You're saying you're a white supremacist?
I'm not a white supremacist. I'm Mexican. My last name's Fuentes.
I know, I kind of
a white supremacist.
I saw.
And at the end of it all, there's a likelihood that Nick pays a fine for shoving the woman down and stealing her phone, but there's also the possibility he walks away scot-free.
So what happened?
Okay, so are you familiar with the resident?
So what happened?
Okay, so I'm just asking, this is important for you to realize. Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with the resident?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I have no idea who that is.
So, I'm not going to add extra to it. His name is Nick Fuentes, and he is a white supremacist, proudly, and he was on his very popular YouTube channel talking about how after Trump won, to women everywhere, basically, your body, my choice.
Okay, yeah, so I got kind of somebody that's kind of doing this.
So there are a lot of people who are doxing him because he basically threatened every woman and their daughters by saying, your body, my choice. I don't care how he votes. I mean...
Well, you can. I mean, it kind of bothered you, right?
It doesn't matter. I mean, I know a lot of Republicans, my favorite aunt is a Republican. Yeah. But my point is, that is a threatening statement. And there are a lot of people who are upset about it.
Yeah.
I came by here because I live in Berwyn. I live on the south side.
Okay.
And I came to do a little video because my friends keep saying, you know, he lives near town. Yeah. So I went outside and did a little video. And a friend, what's that?
In front of his house? Like videotaped his house?
On the sidewalk. Yeah.
Okay. And what was the reason for that, for videotaping his
because
house?
I wanted to show people that there was no, there were no, people are making claims that they're going to send deliveries to him of like dog poo and stuff. And I was showing there are no boxes of that there.
Okay.
And so a woman driving by said, ring his doorbell and say hello. So there are no signs on there saying anything about no solicitors, okay?
Okay.
So I rang the doorbell, immediately opened the door, sprayed me with pepper spray, and pushed me down the steps.
He sprayed you with pepper spray?
Yes, he did.
And it got in your eyes?
Yes.
I'm going to call an ambulance.
My face.
Okay, before we go any further, I'm going to call an ambulance to make sure you're... No, but I want you to get checked out.
Whatever it is.
To the Berwyn. Okay, so he opens the door.
He opened the door in the same movement. He sprayed me and pushed me down the steps.
And you
fell
onto
backwards. What? I fell onto the sidewalk and, you know, kind of rolled. He grabbed my phone and went back inside.
He grabbed the phone and went inside his house?
Yes.
Yes. The reason why you would come here to begin with?
Well, I mean,
to me, I know about the social post. Now, I mean, she told me about it. The lady that shot. It doesn't seem like a good idea to come to somebody's house and just, I mean, based on I get the post might upset you, and it might be something that you don't agree with, but to go in somebody's house is kind of over the top.
I understand that. At the same time,
yeah.
If somebody comes to my door who's upset with me and I don't know anything about them being violent or anything like that, I don't open the door, pepper spray them, and push them down the steps.
What's your phone number? So what would you like done in this situation?
I want to file some sort of complaint.
A complaint as in
assault.
So what happened?
So I was told I'll just be completely honest with you.
He's the white supremacist that coined the phrase, your body, my choice. So he is evil against women. And so as I pulled up, going past...
How do you know him?
It's all over the internet, and I'm just...
Oh.
I drove by because I'm ridiculous.
It's a post that he made?
No, everybody's outing him because he's a white supremacist. And
what's your phone number? So... Why exactly were you here?
I drove by, wanted to see where the jerk lived, to be totally honest. I'm so disgusted with everything. And when I came by, other people were like taking photos, and then she was standing there, and I was.
Is your middle initial M from
Yeah.
Okay. Is your current address? You weren't involved. Do you know the lady?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I don't know either of them.
Can you just stay here? I'm gonna try to make sure she's okay.
Sure, and I'll tell you exactly what happened. I saw the whole thing.
So okay, can you just tell me really quick so I can go see if she's okay?
She went and pushed the doorbell. He opened the door, which was surprising. She didn't say a word. He came out with his full body, both arms, pushed her back. She fell off. There's 3 steps. She fell off onto the ground. She's trying to get up, and as she's getting up, she has the phone in her hand. He grabs it. He's going back up the stairs to his front door. He slams the phone down, and the phone went in the house.
Okay, and then he went inside?
And then he went inside.
Okay.
I tried to get her to help me, but she's like, I'm okay.
Okay.
Especially when you include what occurred yesterday, which was a man who killed 3 people, I believe, or maybe 2. It may have been 3, and then traveling a significant distance to whose house? Nick Fuentes' house, knocking on the door, ringing the doorbell, saying, "Yo, Nick," while holding 2 weapons in his hand.
Yo, Nick!
Now, I should say there's a little bit of controversy with all of this because I've seen people argue back and forth about the legitimacy of all of this because in one corner's mind, this seems completely staged, and in response to those people, they'll say something like, well, how could it be staged when he clearly walked up to the front porch and said, "Yo, Nick," he clearly knows that this is his house and his address, and he's there because some weirdo doxed him because how dare they do such a thing? You shouldn't be reacting this way to negative things seen online, and there's a weird corner of that group saying, "We'll dox all of you," which, please, stop doing that. I don't care what any of you see online unless we're actually trying to look for somebody who's wanted by the cops and the FBI. Don't start leaking people's addresses because you hate their opinions on social media. Clearly, a lot of people don't want their addresses leaked because of that. So please, don't do that. I don't care what type of moral justice you think you got going on. You are stupid if you do that all over online opinions. However, I would like to just add my 2 cents in regards to this subject matter, because based on the footage, it's clear as day. The dude walks up to the porch, looks down, sees packages on the ground at night, and thinks, oh, who lives here? Oh, some guy named Nick. I could just say, "Yo, Nick," and that's my conspiracy theory about the whole thing. Hi, it's me after I already recorded the video. And you know why you should subscribe to this channel? It's because when I say something, I could potentially be wrong. And unlike other people, I could admit when I'm wrong before uploading the video. And my theory about how this dude just showed up at a random house and decided, hey, I'm gonna walk up to this one and look down and, oh, all of these packages say Nick on it. Clearly, the owner, or at least someone in the house, is named Nick. Oh, that works out. It really doesn't work out when you consider the additional Ring camera footage that Nick has provided to show that this dude clearly might have been looking specifically for him, and it leads to a stronger case for Nick that somebody, after killing 3 people, was looking for him, and it don't really look good for any of the opposition that wants to say it's staged. But much like all things, time will indeed be the thing that tells us the what? The truth. Regardless of however this plays out in terms of further details, I believe at time of recording, Nick is now thinking of suing all the media outlets who are not bringing up what happened to him or trying to make it seem like he staged it or trying to make it seem like this dude didn't target him at all. Further details will clear this story up no matter how anyone slices it. The main takeaway, whether if this dude was targeting Nick and he just killed 3 people on the way and then when he couldn't do it, ended up killing 2 dogs by by the way, or if this was just some random dude showing up trying to hide from the cops and going house to house to house to house to house to house to house, the important thing, at least in this scenario, is this. Don't be stupid, don't be crazy, and stop leaking people's addresses because you don't like what they're saying online. I do not care how much any of it upsets you. You stupid, wannabe positive bitches need to take your own fucking advice and block out the negativity, not constantly engage in doom scrolling and seeing all the things you hate speak, and you just think to yourself, why are you here? I think it would be a good idea to dox you. You know why? Because if people see something you post and they don't like it and they decide to find out where you live and dox you, you're not going to like that. I've said it, both videos in the past. I don't like Nick Fuentes. I don't want to know where this motherfucker lives. I don't want to see any inkling of where he lives. It's bad enough I know the state in which he lives in. I don't want to know any more. I do not care to know. I don't like the things he says. And you know what I do with my time? I go watch something else. I enjoy my time with something positive. I've been rewatching iCarly for the past 4 days now, and that's been a better use of my time than doom scrolling to see what some negative thing is said by a guy who clearly doesn't like a subsection of people or tries to get a rise out of them by saying something stupid. It's not beneficial. It's not helpful. And when you leak his address or when you show up to his house trying to get a gotcha or try to get a recording and try to feign innocence like you just showed up randomly, like, oh, I was just sightseeing, you're stupid and you are not helpful. May the guy who ended up killing 3 people and dogs rest in absolute piss. And I hope this whole thing gets resolved so that I could come back here and say, don't show up to people's houses, don't leak their addresses, and actually try to lead normal lives, which is what everyone should do in the Leon Society. And if you agree with that, you should subscribe because the Leon Society reigns supreme. I'll see you all in the next one. Mwah! Yes, I got extremely cold. It's like 30 degrees outside, and I need a big woman to cuddle next to.